Welcome to Anselmo Academy of Music and the Arts, and we are sending greetings from New York City. Hello. And today we present pianist, solo, and chamber musician and esteemed pedagogue, Vladimir Valjarevic. Welcome, Vladimir.
Thank you. Thank you, Vera, and thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Please tell us a little bit about this piece we just heard and who you are with.
So this was a Dvorak Dumki piano trio, which I played with violinist Stefan Milenkovic and cellist Emilia Colon, and this happened at a summer festival, Round Top in Texas, some years ago.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. We will be sharing our guest bio photos, videos, and a dialogue in just a few minutes. But first, we have a few announcements from Anselmo Academy. Our winter enrollment is ongoing and is open to all interested students. We offer private lessons and also group classes throughout New York and New Jersey. So please reach out to us through our website, anselmoacademy.org. Our seventh Anselmo music competition is coming up shortly. We have last few days left to register till February 15, and then we have live auditions in Manhattan on March 2nd and March 9th. And we're very much looking forward to hearing many talented musicians. And last, we also organize annually what we call student showcases, where we feature our own students from Anselmo Academy, and also many guest teachers and guest students come to perform. So we have two dates. April 5th is for Anselmo students, and April 6th is for all guest students, and they are welcome to read more information at our website under student showcases that you can find all the information and register. Anselmo Academy is a nonprofit 501c3 organization. We're in existence from 2001, and we specialize in offering group instruction in many local schools and community type organizations in New York and New Jersey. And we are deeply honored and proud to be doing it for almost 25 years. And if you have any questions about our programming, again, please reach out to us through our website with any questions. Please subscribe to our social media channels. Actually, our Facebook is temporarily down and we cannot get access to it, but you can subscribe to anyway, as we hope to be able to get back into our account soon. But we also have two e-newsletters that you can find on our website on a homepage bottom right. And through these two e-newsletters, you can gain information about our existing programs and registration, enrollment, etc. But also we post information about events like this one today, where we invite well-known, respected musicians from all around the world to come and share their musical path. Thank you so much. Okay, next, we are going to go through Vladimir's bio. So please share his profile picture on the screen. Wonderful, thank you. Vladimir is born in former Yugoslavia and received his initial music education in Tuzla as a student of Planinka Jurisic Attic. And after studies at the Belgrade Conservatory, he came to New York on a scholarship from the Mannes School of Music. He earned bachelor and master's degree with honors, getting a special award, Marian Marcus Wall Performance Award, at graduation, and his principal teachers were professors Pavlina Dakovska and Vladimir Feldsman. He continued on with his doctorate degree from the Mason Gross School of the Arts at Rutgers University, where he was a student of Susan Starr and recipient of the Saldarini Scholarship Award. After graduation, he was presented with the Elizabeth Wickup Durham Award for Excellence in Keyboard Studies. He continued his education and earned a postgraduate certificate in teaching and learning in higher education from the University of London. And after winning Fulbright Scholarship Award and Swiss Arts Government Grant, Vladimir studied at the Geneva Conservatory in Switzerland under the tutelage of Pascal de Villon. And while in Geneva, he also received chamber music instruction from Jean-Jacques Ballet and clavichord lessons from Nicole Hostetler at the Centre de Musique Ancienne. Uh, he had participated in multiple master classes with world-renowned piano musicians, piano pedagogues such as Naum Startman, Gabi Casadedou, George Sander, Jerome Laurenthal, Lilian Kalir, Eteri Anjaparidze, and Lydia Kutiva. He also participated in multiple festivals, and I'm just going to name a few, such as IMS Prussia in England, the American Conservatory in Fontainebleau, France, and the Apeldoorn Festival in the Netherlands. We'll post a full bio in the comments once we're ready to post this event on our social media. As a soloist and chamber musician, Vladimir won numerous prizes in his home country, which is former Yugoslavia, as well as other competitions in Italy. Today, Vladimir is an active soloist and chamber musician, as well as esteemed pedagogue. The critics have praised pianist Vladimir Valjarevic for his caressing legato, silk on velvet seductiveness from Fanfare magazine, beautiful lyricism, and wide variety of tones and colorings, perceptibly applied with care. This quote is from All Music Guide. He has also been called an outstandingly responsive partner and superb tonalist. The Strat magazine wrote. He has distinguished himself as performer, educator, and administrator as a result of his diverse interest and versatility. Some of his solo and chamber performances include appearances at the National Center for the Performing Arts in Beijing, Xi'an Concert Hall in Xi'an, Ordo's Grand Theater in Chinese Inner Mongolia, Menuhin School in Guangdao, Sumida Triponi Chamber Hall in Tokyo, and then many others from Hamburg to Geneva to Berlin to Belgrade to Sofia to Conservatory Music in San Juan in Puerto Rico, Manchester Music Festival in Vermont, Southwest Virginia Festival for the Arts, the French and Swiss embassies in Washington, D.C. In New York, Vladimir performed at Barge Music, concerts at one at Trinity Church, Meet the Virtuoso at the 92nd Street Y, Wild Recital Hall at Carnegie Hall, Merkin Hall, Steinway Hall, Yamaha Salon, the United Nations, and the New York School Tishman Auditorium, among many others. Need a drink. Um, Committed to exploring new contemporary music, Vladimir worked with many contemporary composers and took part in numerous world premieres. In addition, he appeared in the European premiere of John Cage dance drama Four Walls in Berlin and then Hamburg. He also performed extensively as a member of the Kaleidos duo with violinist Miroslav Christoph and the Hudson Piano Trio. Vladimir teaches piano at the Manor School of Music and Mason Gross School of the Arts at Rutgers University, and piano literature and pedagogy at Manus. He was the teaching assistant to Pavlina Dakovska for over a decade and still continues close collaboration with her in pedagogy and performances. And as part of his outreach activities, he conducts piano master classes semi-annually under the auspices of Southwest Virginia Community College. And his summer festival affiliations included Beijing International Music Festival and Academy, and Xi'an Music Festival in China, Roundtop Festival in Texas, International Institute for Young Musicians in Kansas, International Keyboard Institute and Festival in New York. He serves as the chamber music coordinator at the Beijing International Music Festival and Academy in China and the assistant artistic director at the Southwest Virginia Festival for the Arts. He has given piano master classes and lectures on piano pedagogy in US, in China, including presentations at the Music China World Fair in Shanghai, Second International RAST Music Congress at IRMC, digital workshop called Intercultural Piano Pedagogy Project under the auspices of the festival Junger Kunstler, Beirut, Germany. His writings on piano pedagogy are published in the RAST Musicology Journal. Wonderful. Next on our agenda is another video clip of Chopin Nocturne in A flat major, Opus 32, number 2. Take a look. Wonderful. We are honored to have you as our guest. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your talent and your, deep commitment to education and performing, and that is so exciting and powerful. So I sent you some questions that I think it would be great to hear your answers to. So, what was your dream in your childhood? And perhaps you can tie this in with your story as how you grew up, your music education, and so on and so forth. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. First of all, thank you again. You know, I come from a small town in the former Yugoslavia, and it was a wonderful place to grow up, actually, because it was a very innocent childhood with wonderful friends and um, also wonderful parents that I had, wonderful families. So it was a very enjoyable and happy childhood. Um, I studied at the local music school. You already read my bio. And I was fortunate to meet my piano teacher there, Planinka Jurisic. Teacher was very helpful and very caring through my very important years, developmental years. And as a young boy in that small town, dreams and reality mixed, so it's difficult to tell you all of my dreams, but certainly I was just very happy to play, and that was a dream. I was excited to learn piano. I was excited to learn new music. I was very excited to perform. I remember being very moved by music from very early age, enjoying listening to music as well. So that, in a way, was a dream. It was a dream that I was living back in the day. And then when I left, first I was 16 years old when I moved to Belgrade, first Novi Sad, and then Belgrade to study at a conservatory level. And then at 19, I came to New York to study at Mannes. All these chapters were sort of dreams in their own right. I was very happy. I really wanted to study in Novi Sad at this academy. And then in Belgrade, then New York was a dream, and then that dream came true. So I'm very fortunate that many of my dreams came true. And I think it's very important to dream. I think that's the bottom line. It's very important to dream in life because when you do dream, then there is a chance for them, of course, to come true. And we try to work hard to, of course, make them come true. But then also I was lucky as well.
Wonderful. So, anything you miss from not being where you were born and raised? What do you miss the most?
Oh, sure. It's a nostalgia for this childhood that I just described. It was, as I said, very happy childhood. So I miss my friends from my elementary school. I miss my parents. I miss being a young student and learning, and I miss that innocence of childhood. So I'd say that's what I miss the most. But every chapter, every life chapter is different, and every life chapter has its beauties, has its challenges as well. So I have to say that I'm also enjoying where I am right now, in terms of my life and what I have right now. So every chapter has its own charm.
That's great. Um, what makes you the most proud about your path as a musician?
Um, I'd say, I always enjoyed teaching very much. I started teaching when I was very young, first as a teacher helper when I was 15, 16 years old. And then later, when I came to New York at the age of 19, I was very fortunate to find a job immediately as a piano teacher. So I think I was 20 years old when I got my first job in New York. So it's been many, many, many years of teaching and working with young people. So I'd say that probably that is one of the things that I'm most proud about. The fact that I can participate in these lives in some ways, that I can help them learn, that I can share what I love, and that I can also see and hear progress in their development. That is something that gives me immense pleasure and also great pride because they become better versions of themselves.
Fantastic. And so tell us a little bit about your most recent and upcoming projects, whether it's performing, teaching, master classes, festivals, anything.
Yeah, sure. So part of my gratitude that I mentioned is also the fact that I'm affiliated with some wonderful musicians with whom I work regularly. So I have an upcoming project. In fact, in just a week, I'll be traveling to Tennessee and Kentucky, where I will be playing with my very good friend and colleague, violinist Miroslav Hristov. We've been playing together since 2008 as a Kaleidos duo, and we've been exploring varieties of repertoire that is not often heard. We recorded also these programs. We've created several CD projects. So we performed, for example, Italian music from late 19th century into 20th century. Then we issued a CD with the music from the Balkans, from our region, which is also very interesting because it's rarely heard. Then right now we are in fact working on another Balkan program. So it's an extension of the first one. So we continue to feature music from the region with pieces from Romania, Bulgaria, Croatia, Serbia, Macedonia, Greece, and Turkey. So yeah, a lot of variety and a really wonderful program. It gives me great pleasure to play it and also to play it with Miroslav as he's a wonderful violinist and musician. So that's ongoing, and I hope that there will be more opportunities to play. We'll also play in Greece in the summer, and then also there are some projects for next year. So that is something that gives me great pleasure. I was very fortunate to study with Pavlina Dokovska at Manas, and after studying with her, I started also performing with her. So since 1997, we've been playing and performing as a piano duo. So we will be playing together in April in Virginia. We'll play some pieces for piano duo, but then we will also play Mozart's piano concerto for two pianos and orchestra. So that's extremely exciting. Collaborations with her are very inspiring because she's such a volcano of positivity and inspiration and fantastic energy. So um, I'm certainly very grateful to have this opportunity to also work with her in pedagogy and performance. So that is coming up, and I'm looking forward to that very much. And I'll be also traveling to Montana in early April, and that's a very interesting project with another wonderful violinist. Her name is Ching Lee from Baltimore, and we've been playing these concerts for several years, and it's under the auspices of Pyagorsky Foundation, which is based in New York. And what they do is they send musicians to perform in areas where music is not heard as much. And this is something that is important to me, this sort of pioneering work and bringing music to a wide variety of audiences and also performing music in a wide variety of settings. So we travel through rural areas, we play in small libraries, in community centers, in um, museums, in schools, elementary schools, high schools, but also in I guess you'd say more standard concert hall. So it's a very interesting mix and fantastic experiences. So these trips in themselves are for me extremely inspiring, and I find it very important to share music with these audiences. But then also collaboration with Ching is equally inspiring and exciting. So all that is coming up, and I just can't wait.
Fantastic. Sounds not boring for sure. That is great. So next question, what should core values of today artists should be? What is the most important?
Yeah, that's a very important question because the time that we live in is a very challenging time. It's an exciting time, but I think it also could be confusing. So I think that's a very important question. And at least as far as I'm concerned, I think the most important value is to be true to oneself and to have a very strong desire to work on oneself and constantly improve. I think we live in the age of constant distractions, and these distractions can take so much energy away from our work on exactly what I mentioned on ourselves and trying to become better versions constantly every day on of ourselves. Um, I think it's important also not to be too carried away with extrinsic values. They're important. Outside values are important, definitely. This validation is important, but I don't think it's crucial. I would see external validation as a side effect, and I would simply try to focus on things that are inside. So develop oneself, learn, constantly become a better version of oneself. I would want to see that in my own students, certainly in myself. I start with myself, and I try to do that every day, to focus on my work, to focus on learning, studying, always learning something new. And this is, of course, what I try to share with my students all the time as well.
Great. Can I have some pop-up questions?
Of course.
So what's on your bucket list?
In what respect? Like what do I
Anything,
want to do in
anything.
the
Yeah, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? What things you always wanted to do but never had time? Anything, not just music. It could be anything. Run a marathon, for instance, or whatever.
so
That would not be on my bucket list.
so
Yes.
I would like to well, I would like to travel more because I love to travel. So there are places that I would love to see. I would love to go to Southeast Asia. I never visited Thailand, Vietnam. Um, I would love to go there. I would love to see India. I would love to visit some European countries. I never visited Portugal, and I'm very curious about Portugal. So I would just South America. I've never been. I would love to go. So I would just love to travel. That's certainly one very important thing on my list. I'm fortunate that through work I do travel, but still, traveling is so important for me because it's not just leisure, which is important, of course. If I can take a vacation and actually travel just for relaxation instead of work, but even when I travel for work, I try to learn about the place where I am. I try to understand the culture better. I try to relate to people, which is very important to me. So learning, that would be another thing on my bucket list. Always to learn, to stay student and continue to learn. I would love to go back to school, maybe get another degree in something. But no, I mean, organized school,
In
maybe not.
what? In
I
what? You
don't
have
know.
all the
But
degrees.
in something else. I just want to study. Of course, you can study by yourself, but being in a school is different because you enjoy the curriculum, which is created by that institution and hopefully done by people who know better than you, right? So they created this because they feel that this is the best way to learn. So I would love to continue to study, which I do. So I would love to study languages. I love languages, and I studied some French, I studied some Russian. I would love to study again. I would love to find time to perfect it. It gives me great pleasure to learn more. I'd love to study Chinese. I'd love to become a better cook because I love to eat. So that also is on my bucket list. I started cooking more during the pandemic. Before the pandemic, I did very little bit of cooking. But then during the pandemic, I started cooking more. So um, it's definitely also something on my bucket list. But then, the most important thing on my bucket list is really to spend as much time as I can with people that I love. That's number one. That's
Right.
above everything else. So life goes by quickly and it's going by fast. And so many things are going on around us. And that is definitely my number one priority. Be with dear friends, be with family, and just spend as much time as I can.
Right. Another question. One word that best describes you. One word that best describes you. One word.
One word.
First thing that comes to mind.
I'd say patience. It's also something that I had to cultivate through my through my life because I think by nature probably I'm not very patient. So I have learned to be patient through teaching, of course, others, and also through teaching myself, through being a student and teacher. And I think it's a very important quality, which is the reason why I gave it a lot of time and space in my life, because with patience, of course, we can develop so many other things.
Right. One more question that
Yes,
came
sure.
to me. What advice would you give to younger generation? Let's say young people who are, let's say, finishing maybe high school, teenagers who are, dreaming of pursuing career in music.
Yeah, well, it goes back to what I was talking about, core values. I think it's very important to be focused on oneself in the best possible sense of that expression. So working on oneself all the time, trying to be the best version of oneself, learning all the time, studying all the time, trying to be um, not distracted too much by outside events if possible. But the other advice that I would give, and in fact that I do give to my students all the time, is be curious, be open. I think it's extremely important to be open in this life and not to be only on one um, strict and stiff trajectory. Um, if we speak just about music, this field of music is vast. There are so many possibilities, and there are so many different ways of being happy in music, of being fulfilled, um, of being successful, of learning. And I think it is important to be open. It's important to not only look straight, but also look right and left, up and down as we are on this journey, because maybe there is a really interesting opportunity just a little bit to the right that we don't notice. And when we do notice it, we also have to have enough space, patience perhaps, but also space in our life to include it and to try it and to see where it can bring us, because it can open a whole new, beautiful, and very important horizon. So I believe in that very much because it's exactly what happened to me. So many things in my life happened because I looked just a little bit to the right or to the left.
Great. We are ready to move on to your picture gallery where you can tell us where you were, who you're with,
Sure.
etc.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. So this is the last studio party, and uh, was this took place last November, I believe, so November 24. And these are my students, the students of Pavlina Dokovska. So we have our own students, but then we also have students that we share. Um, and
And
this
these
took
are all
place
from
in China,
Manus or also
all from Manas.
all
Yeah,
from Manus?
these are all
Okay.
Manas students. And this took place in Chinatown. So I found a really nice restaurant in Chinatown, and they were willing to host us. So I think maybe 22, 23 of us. It was really a wonderful time.
Fantastic. That's not easy to do. I know.
No,
To
it wasn't.
organize 20 something
It
people
was
to come
a lot
together.
of
Yeah.
administrative work. Yes, certainly.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah. And this is Rutgers. So these are my Rutgers students. And this was our little party there. I believe this was October 24. I have six doctoral students, and they are all here. And this was in China at Beijing International Music Festival and Academy. Um, I have been affiliated with this festival for 15 years, maybe now, so a long time. And I've been going to China for about 10, 11. So I believe this is a master class which took place last summer, August of 24. And this was also in China, but I believe this was August of 23, same festival, Beijing International Music Festival and Academy. And I think this was a performance of a Mozart G minor quartet dress rehearsal at the National Center for Performing Arts in Beijing with some wonderful musicians.
Is this Sheila?
Sheila Brown, yes, violist, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And this was, I believe, again, 23. Yes, August 23, China, same festival, same venue.
Wonderful. And we now going to play an excerpt from Enescu Sonata number 3 with Kaleidos Duo.
Okay, thanks.
Beautiful. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Vladimir, once again for joining us today, for sharing
Thank
your
you.
insights and your
Thank
journey.
you.
I truly enjoyed it, and I hope
Thank
everyone
you.
else will enjoy watching this broadcast. Thank you so much. We're wishing you all the best and all your upcoming endeavors and events.
Thank you. And same to you. Thank you very much.
Of course. Bye bye.